Hello and welcome back. So we were discussing about training and development. We have already discussed about what is training, what are different types. Now I am going to skip through these slides and we are going directly towards our development phase with how we are going to have this development in our employees. So let's start with our this employee development. Okay, so management development. So we have discussed about what are the trainings, what are the needs, what are the types, how different types of trainings can impart in an employee. So like we are going to discuss about management development. Now, what is management development? It is an attempt to improve your current or future management performance by imparting knowledge, changing attitudes, or increasing the skills. So how this management development can develop any employee. So basically like if we talk about जब हमने training दी तो हम we want our employee to develop, हम चाहते हैं कि वो develop करे, उसकी skills improve हो, उसका attitude change हो, because attitude matters a lot. अगर किसी employee का attitude सही नहीं है towards your work, towards the role, so definitely that's also a hurdle. Also towards the knowledge, that person is not having the relevant knowledge, then that's again something that needs to be maybe given some trainings. Lastly, the skills that are required for that particular job. Then over here we are going to focus on different if we talk about needs. सबसे पहले we need to assess the strategic needs, क्या organization की strategic needs हैं क्या. Then we need to say that how your that particular manager appraise that current performance, कि वो कैसा perform कर रहा है, तो आपका manager इस बारे में क्या कहते हैं. Then we need to develop the managers so that they become our future managers. So we will be working on that concept कि वो future managers बन सकें. So this first of the method but has been used in the organization is called succession planning. Now what is succession planning? It is basically जब senior level openings के लिए you are going to plan that how they are going to be fulfilled, how they are going to be done. You have different things kept in mind while training your current staff, that what will be the needs, how you're going to review your management skills inventory, if you're trying to create some replacement charts, like how who can replace this position, either the person who is working below, like if that person was assistant manager, that can be a manager. So how what type of skills or maybe management techniques or education or whatsoever is the requirements, so we need to see, and then we can begin with our management development process. So this is one way of doing. Then we have job rotation. This is another methodology that has been adopted by the organizations, that they send an employee from, or that trainee from department to department, so that his horizon or can be broadened, and he can identify that what are his or her strong and weak areas, and then we can decide कि अगर अच्छा इस department में अगर नहीं चल रहा तो maybe we can put that person in another department. Just for example, if we talk about Engro give his or their employees that chance कि अगर वो एक department में if they're not excelling or if they don't like to work, they can have this rotation. Then we have another method that is called as coaching or understudy approach. In this method, what we do, जो भी आपका जो letter like जो आप किसके बाद का होना जिसको आपने देना है, who become the responsible person, तो वो उसको कोच करे आपको for the trainees coaching. So basically the trainee work directly with the senior manager or with the person he or she is going to replace. The latter is responsible for the trainee coaching. So कोई भी जो आपका सीनियर है उसको बताएगा, क्योंकि वो उसके बाद आने वाला है. जैसे हम कहते हैं कोई आपका नया एम्प्लॉय आया, आपने पुराना वाला छोड़ के जा रहा है, तो वो उसको एक दफा बता देगा. तो दिस कैन डन एज अ कोचिंग, या आपका जो सीनियर बनता है वो आपको बता सकता है कि दिस नीड्स टू बी डन. सो अगेन understudy approach. Lastly, we have action learning approach. Now action learning approach is basically when management or this manager, they give a full-time thing. Sometimes for example, if I'm working in right now, I'm working in alumni department and I needs to work with the top management on something. So organization build a team bana di jayegi कि अच्छा ये सारे लोग जैसे departments के हैं, मे बी कोई MS से होगा, कोई एलुमनाई से होगा, मे बी कोई CSNCR से होगा, कोई CSR से होगा, कोई किसी और डिपार्टमेंट से होगा, मे बी स्टूडेंट सोसाइटी में टॉक अबाउट यूनिवर्सिटी. So again, what they are going to accomplish as overall by solving maybe or analyzing different things. So this can be also done, action learning, so that they have the idea that either they are on the same place. So in terms of managerial positions or anything, something related to that, organizations do this approach. Okay, then we have, okay, right. Then we have another method, that of the job method may we have case study method. Like the word case study, definitely we have different cases in that, through which they can analyze that how the person is doing the case study, diagnose the problem, then present his or her finding and solution, the discussions. So this is basically जिस तरह for example मैंने कोई problem आपको दिया, चलो discuss करो, and then you come out with different solutions towards that, and then we then have the idea कि अगर आपको समझ आ रही है नहीं, and how you can relate it back to your job as well. Another way of doing it is basically through management games. Now this is basically organizations में different comprise game भी हो सकती हैं, different games हो सकती हैं, simulations की तरह, या आजकल gamify जिसमें we talk about. Again, I talk about PSO का PSO the example, do they test the employee through this management games के through. They have different sessions in that, different sections में उसको divide किया हुआ है, जिसमें they analyze the candidate potential, that how that person is good or not. तो उसके उनके test में basically they have different this you can say assessment. उस assessment में they are related something related to आपकी अपनी जो trainings हैं, like किस तरह है, आपने क्या किया हुआ है, then related to your general knowledge and analytical skills, logical reasoning, then something related to maybe आपका जो क्या कहते हैं उसको. So they have different modules जिसमें उनको divide किया हुआ है. Even just not just the PSO की talk होती है, आपने जब यूनिवर्सिटी का कोई टेस्ट दिया था उसमें भी आपके पास इंग्लिश की थी, इंग्लिश दैट इज इंग्लिश कॉम्पोजिशन की है, then भी एनालिटिकल स्किल्स है आपके पास, then प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग वो quantitative, and so again different things can be merged together. Then sometimes organizations also offer you outside seminar, that go and attend some seminar related to that particular job to enhance your knowledge towards that. आपको different seminars, workshop attend करने के लिए भेजने organizations, ताकि आपको उसके relevant समझ आ सके कि what exactly that is required by you. Another way of doing off the job management training is through role playing. Again, the word as the role play, आपको एक realistic situation देते हैं, and then the trainees are asked to role play in that. The same is done in the behavioral modeling as well. In this method, first what we do, we show a video or maybe a live session, so that they have the idea कि आपको ये दिखाइए, and then they ask you to simulate that situation and then feedback towards the supervisor, and then the supervisor will praise you. So basically, what is behavior modeling? First of all, you need you are going to be shown some video or some link or something. So then you are supposed to model it in terms of like simulate करोगे, आप खुद करोगे, आप उसको दफा role play करोगे. When you are done with the role play, then आपको social reinforcement in terms of like feedback मिलेगा आपके supervisor से कि आपने कैसे किया, performance अच्छी है या नहीं है. Lastly, the transfer of training is through either you are able to apply that back on your job or not. ज़्यादातर हमेशा जो simulation होती है, that is relevant to your job related tasks. Actually जो job में perform करोगे उसी से related ही आपको behavior modeling करवाई जाती है, as an example. Then we have corporate universities. आजकल बहुत सी organizations में, good organization में talk about multinational like McDonald's हो गया, IBM हो गया, General Electric हो गया. Even if we have like this Procter & Gamble, they have in-house development centers. Like उन्होंने अपने employees के लिए corporate universities को एक नाम दे दिया. They have like वहाँ पे उन्होंने different organizations हैं like Coursera, then we have IBM, उन्होंने वहाँ पे उनके साथ MOUs करके उनके जो प्लेटफॉर्म्स हैं वो ले लिए, ताकि आप अपने एम्प्लॉइज को वो खुद ही मेंटोर करें और देखें कि what needs to be covered. So this is also one approach that organizations are doing. There are multiple other organizations, those who are like, we talk about अगर हम पाकिस्तान में बात करें, पाकिस्तान पेट्रोलियम हो गया, then we have this PSO ने भी इसी तरह लिया हुआ, different उन्होंने IB के साथ एक MOU किया हुआ है, they send their employees in that particular organization skill development उनका जो program होता है IBA का, entrepreneurship, that is CEE उनका जो program है. So again, different organizations have done MOUs with organizations, or sometimes in-house if they have the capacity, they are doing that. Okay, then we have another off-the-job training method, and that is called executive coaches. Now, what are that? Executive coaches are basically, these are the people or personnels that are there to develop towards the top management effectiveness. कोई भी एक हमें कंसल्टेंट होता है, ये बंदा, ये आपके आपके जो बॉस सबऑर्डिनेट पूछता है कि क्या हो रहा है, कैसे हो रहा है, व्हाट नीड्स टू बी डन. तो वो एक पूरा किस्म का एनालिसिस और कैथारसिस करता है कि अच्छा ये हम आपसे पहले पूछता है सारी चीजें, वो कोचिंग करते हैं आपकी, एंड देन दैट पर्सन विल गिव यू फीडबैक दैट व्हाट नीड्स टू बी डन. जो आपके एग्जीक्यूटिव्स हैं उनकी क्या स्ट्रेंथ्स हैं, क्या वीकनेसेस हैं. सो बेसिकली दिस प्रोग्राम्स कॉस्ट यू अ वेरी हाई कॉस्ट इसकी होती है, बिकॉज particular consultant will be coming, and then that's what's called executive coaches. Okay, now when we are done with our part of this training and development, the major challenge that comes in any firm is change. जब हमने कहा training की ज़रूरत है, development की ज़रूरत है, so definitely everybody is going to resist that change. Everybody is going to say that मुझे नहीं ज़रूरत, I don't want to be, they don't want to be in the limelight, or they don't want to be highlighted, whatsoever the reason is. But again, now how being an HR department, HR personnel, what needs to be done, you need to see that what is being lagging behind. क्या चीज़ सही नहीं जा रही, क्या चीज़ हमें change करनी है overall. Maybe it's a strategy or mission and vision are not aligned. Maybe the culture, हमारे organizational values, they are not aligned. Maybe the structural thing, जो हमारी जो policies है, span of control है, reporting relationship है, task है, या if there is a new technology in the market what needs to be imparted in our employees, we need to see what skills needs to be imparted. So all these things we need to be an old okay, change may we need to see. Definitely when there is a change, there must be a resistance. Definitely people are going to resist that change. So what we need to come out to bring our people out of that resistance को हम उनको status को तोड़ना पड़ेगा. तो we have a very good model that was given by Levin's Kurt model इसको कहते हैं. That was a psychologist, Kurt Lewin has formulated this classical example. What he did, he has suggested 3 stages: unfreezing, moving, and rephrasing. Now, what these 3 stages are about, unfreezing is basically you need to strive and tell the people that what needs to be done. Okay, this is a thing that needs to be changed. अपने आप status को तोड़ना है यहाँ पे, कोई चीज़ आपने चेंज करनी है. देन डेवल्स अ फेज, अब मूविंग स्टेज की तरफ जाओगे, अच्छा थोड़ा थोड़ा ऐसा ऐसा करके बिहेवियर, वैल्यूज, एटीट्यूड्स, स्ट्रक्चरल मेगा स्ट्रक्चर चेंज आएंगी आप मूविंग स्टेज पे. एंड देन लास्टली when that change has been brought, you need to refreeze. आपको उसको अपना permanent part बना देना organization का, so that it becomes a norm of that organization. Let's take the example, अगर मैं लूँ एक ink की, अगर if you put a drop of an ink in the ice, तो आहिस्ता आहिस्ता जब ink उसका जो flow होता है वो blend करता है. जब कोई भी कलर अगर आप ले लो तो ऐसा ऐसा फ्लो करता है. तो अगेन जब इंक का ड्रॉप गिरता है तो अनफ्रीज होके उसके अंदर ब्लेंड होने की कोशिश करता है. तो दैट्स लाइक मूविंग. जब वो मूविंग स्टेज से जब वो रीफ्रीज पा रहा है, लाइक एवरीथिंग इज बीइंग डन, वो चीजें लगती है. जस्ट अ जनरल एग्जांपल we give of this unfreezing, moving, and refreezing of Kurt Lewin model. Different organizations may this again this leading of change is very difficult, because that unfreezing part becomes a very difficult stage, that how you're going to do that. So they are different 10 stages. So basically if we talk about unfreezing phase, the first 2 stages are unfreezing. Establish a sense of urgency and mobilize commitment through joint diagnosis of problem. You need to tell your people what is the thing, why you are doing it. Then you come and move towards the moving phase. इसको हम कहते हैं this guiding coalition, then sharing vision, communicate the vision so that they are having the idea at where we are taking them along. Then communicating the vision, then we need to help our employees to make the change and generate short-term wins and consolidate gains and produce more change. So basically this is from the moving stage. जब हम उनको सब चीजें बता रहे हैं कि अच्छा ये ऐसा है, क्या फायदे होंगे, शॉर्ट टर्म में उनको दिखाए जाए ताकि उनको समझ आए कि ये चीजें इसके साथ होगा. एंड देन लास्टली हम उसको रीइंफोर्स कर देंगे इस चेंज को, एंड देन इट बिकम्स पार्ट ऑफ आवर विजन और आवर पार्ट ऑफ नॉर्म्स. This is how this whole process of all things goes on, and organizations work on this. perspective that needs to be done and cater. Okay, then we have OD with us. Now, what is OD? Okay, then we have OD. Now, what is OD? The word organizational development. Organizations तब डेवलप होती हैं जब एज अ होल हर बंदा उसकी जो चीज़ों में एक पार्ट लेता है या इन्वॉल्व होता है. दैट कम्स फ्रॉम द ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल चेंज. जिस तरह हमने पहले जो चेंजेस की बात की थी, ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल जब चेंजेस आनी पड़ती हैं, जब हमें इम्प्लीमेंट करके एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन डेवलप होती है, तो उसका एक डिफरेंट प्रोसेस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन यूज करती है. डिफरेंट कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स वी टॉक अबाउट what needs to be done, action research, आप उसको action oriented लेके जाओ, then it ties towards the behavioral science knowledge, like actually implement करके देखो, अच्छा ये response है, ये effectiveness है, ये नहीं है, क्या organization की effectiveness को किस तरह improve किया जा सकता है. हमें अगर attitudes में, values में, beliefs में कोई change लेके आनी, तो what needs to be done. And lastly we need to change organization in particular direction, उस direction में change के लिए. इस सब चीज़ों के लिए लोग ज़्यादातर organization what they do, they have OD हम कहते हैं OD consultants होते हैं, OD interventions लाने के लिए. Now these are like regarding human processes, techno-structural changes, then we have this human resource management, then we have strategic changes. All needs to be done through an OD consultant. Okay, so these were like all through the OD interventions. Okay, then when we are done with all these interventions through OD consultant, OD trainer, the last thing, whatever we are like, हमने पहले शुरू से बात करते हैं, we need to evaluate हमारा कितना SB HR डिपार्टमेंट अगर इसको मेजर करना चाहिए कि सही हुआ है पार्टिसिपेंट्स का, जो प्रोग्राम ने जो भी रन किए हैं, जो लर्निंग हमने दी है उनको ऑन द जॉब या ऑफ द जॉब, उसका कितना फायदा हुआ है. So basically there are two methods, two basic techniques that can be used designing any of the study. One is like called time series design, and second one is controlled experimentation. Now, time series design is basically in which what you do, like anything before the training and after the training program, you can see an initial effectiveness. कितना किसी को समझ आ रहा है कि बिफोर ट्रेनिंग कहाँ पे था वो बंदा, आफ्टर ट्रेनिंग वो कहाँ चला. दिस इज बेसिकली टाइम सीरीज डिजाइन बिफोर द ट्रेनिंग एंड आफ्टर द ट्रेनिंग. Controlled experimentation is basically you divide the group into, or you have a control group experiment. आप उसको किस तरह करोगे, आपके पास एक ट्रेनिंग ग्रुप होगा और एक कंट्रोल ग्रुप होगा. ट्रेनिंग ग्रुप को आप ट्रेनिंग दोगे, कंट्रोल ग्रुप को आप ट्रेनिंग नहीं दोगे, एंड देन यू कैन हैव द डिफरेंस कि क्या होता है या नहीं, क्या फायदा है. कंट्रोल्ड एक्सपेरिमेंटेशन का इसको नाम देते हैं. सो अगेन डिफरेंट मेथड्स ऑर्गेनाइजेशन एवेलुएट करती हैं कि हमको जो इन्होंने लास्ट किया उसका कोई इफेक्टिवनेस थी या नहीं थी, या इस मेथडोलॉजी को यूज करने का कोई फायदा था या नहीं था. सो दे कैन यूज विद दैट. Lastly, the main thing is how this training affects to measure either it's like koi fayda hua hai, koi outcome hai. So basically 4 things can be done. This is through reaction, learning, behavior and result. Now what is reaction? Evaluate the trainee reaction to the program. Did they like the program? What they think, either it's worthwhile or what was their overall reaction. Then the learning, you can test the trainee to determine whether they learned the principles, skills, facts they were supposed to learn. Actual learning actually took place or not. So basically this is the thing. Then the behavior, then ask the trainee about on the job behavior change because of this training program, like koi bhi mein kya change aayi hai, so behavior change. Then the results in terms of like in terms of training objectives जो आपके set हुए थे, either they were maintained or they were attained or not. So all these things comes of evaluating any of the 4 is fairly straightforward कि वाकई में कोई चीज़ हुई है या नहीं हुई. Different organizations ने training का evaluation forms भी रखा होता है जो उसमें आपका evaluation checks होते हैं कि ये वाकई में जो आपने training ली है उसका कोई फायदा है या नहीं. So this is all from this lecture. Thank you very much for listening and for having this. All the best. Take care. Stay touched. If you like my videos, do like and do subscribe to my channel. Thank you.